Last week we dug out this new flower bed and now it is time to fill it, and this is the first specimen that we are going to plant, which is a bay tree, a standard bay tree, and the Latin name is Laurus Nobilis. Bay leaves can be used in cooking, and you usually dry the leaves, but you can use the leaves fresh as well, and the dried leaves are actually a bit stronger. So today I want to say hello to my friend Claire, because Claire and I went plant shopping today and we met for the first time after we got in touch. She was watching my YouTube channel and we're now firm friends, and she lives so close to here, so we just had to meet up. We went over to a very small nursery. Everything was dirt cheap, literally, and this is just what I was looking for. So I'm going to plant it in this hole that I have already dug here. There's also a couple of other things that I'm going to try with this bay tree as well. First of all, I'm going to trim it, because you can trim them to keep them in shape. You can do it this time of year, late August, September, but then the main pruning would be in April. So I'm going to do that just so it has its beautiful shape. And I'm also going to try out something which is for kind of aromatherapy herbalist. So stay tuned if you want to hear all about that. But just before we plant it, I'm going to trim it a bit. So I'm just going to put this around to catch the leaves. As best I can. Oh, it smells lovely. Main pruning is in April, but you can tidy it up this time of year. Right, we'll leave it at that. They'll get a bit too snap happy. So there's not really very much to it. They are hardy. They are evergreen, so they won't lose their leaves. And they are closely associated with Greek mythology. And also you may have heard of the term poet laureate. And laureate meaning laurel, because they used to award people at the end of chariot races and big feats and competitions back in the day, and they would be crowned with a crown of laurel as a reward. And I cannot get this out. Oh, it's okay, I've done it. Now I should mention these suckers. You'll see these suckers around the edge, and I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do about that. Now I need to check that the stem is straight. Richard, can you tell me if the stem is straight, please? Thanks, Rich. Could you just tell me if this is straight? You need to walk all the way round. Because wouldn't it be awful?
Oh, no, it's leaning to the left at the top. So put it towards you.
Better?
That's better.
Can you walk from all angles? Because it will just be the OCD in you and I.
That is fine.
Yeah?
And it should be right this side, but it's the other side too, right? The branch goes like that. That's your stem.
Yes, so it's never going to be perfect.
Lean it that way. That's better. Yes. Perfect. It's perfect. Just like you, my dear.
So it's very hardy. It if you have them in containers, which a lot of people would, because you see them by people's front doors, then it's probably best to put them in a partly shaded area, because container plants always need a little bit extra care than plants in the ground. This is going to be a sunny spot, but I have researched and apparently that's fine. So they're evergreen, they'll keep their leaves all through the winter. The leaves can be used in cooking. The dried leaves are stronger than the fresh leaves, but you can use both in cooking. And the story goes, sorry, there's a big party going on in the garden over there, which I have not been invited to, so I'm planting instead. But the Greek mythology story goes that the Greek god Apollo was so enamoured and in love with the Greek nymph whose name was Daphne. Well, her father wasn't too keen on this, so he turned Daphne, the father turned Daphne into a bay tree, as you do. But Apollo still loved her just as much as a bay tree, so to show his love for her, he wore a crown of laurel around his head. And you can see almost all pictures of Greek gods and Greek things of that time, they all have laurel crowns, so it must be true. So you can see here that there's a lot of suckers. Now I don't want to just cut these suckers off, because there is a product that you can get, and it's made by a company called Bonide, and it's called Sucker Punch. So what they say to do is, don't just cut the suckers off. The suckers will just all grow back again. You'll be fighting a losing battle. So what you need to do is let these suckers grow until they're quite high, up here somewhere, and then the stems are much thicker, because then what you do, you cut the stems then, so you're cutting a bigger surface area, and you paint on this sort of white liquidy stuff which kills the suckers, and it doesn't hurt the actual plant. So that is what I'm going to do to remedy this situation. So that's that planted, and I will wait for the suckers to grow. Also, I have collected these, all the ones that are cut off, because if you put them in the corners of your house, they are one of the most effective insect repellents that you can have, especially cockroaches. Well, I'm very fortunate that I do not suffer with cockroaches, thank goodness. But you put them, as well as smelling beautiful, obviously you can dry them and put them in your cooking, but put them in the corners of your rooms. And insects hate them, but they are perfectly safe for children and pets. They're not toxic at all. You don't ever eat the leaves, even when you put it in your cooking. Obviously you take it out before you eat. So that's one good thing you can use, and I'm going to do that. Now another thing that I've heard is that you can burn the leaves, and the fumes from the flames will release substances that create beautiful positive energy, which we could all do with, and you will notice a change in the atmosphere. Apparently it will release the airways. It's very good for respiratory problems and conditions. It will reduce stress, it can treat insomnia, and it can reduce high blood pressure, and that is an aromatherapy treatment. Lay down for 10 minutes or so, breathe it in deeply, and your life will be wonderful. But I am going to try it, and apparently I will be calm, and I will sleep wonderfully, and my life will be so much better. So it's been a great day today. I've had fun, and I've added a couple of little hebes just along here and some ornamental grasses, and of course I'm so pleased with my bay tree. Now I need to go in and feed these dogs, and I need to lay down in a darkened room with my burning bay leaves. But I've made a great start on filling up the bed, even if it's only this tiny little corner. Thank you for watching, and I will see you again very soon. Take care. Bye. Yes, you're hungry. You're hungry.